Hey, you guys, what is going on? I pray that all is well. We are live, and what I really wanted to do tonight was come on here and talk to you guys about the trading view tools that I am using for 2023. And I kind of feel official because this is like my second live of the year, so I kind of feel like I'm like off to a great start, and hopefully I can keep this up, right? Where I'm going live almost every week and you guys can see me here on TradingView and then YouTube at the same time. And I kind of like it because it's like, you know, live streaming simultaneously, and I really go live at night. Normally I do it around 12 or 1 when my kids are in school, but right now they're in bed. And so it just, I don't know, makes it a little bit better right now. But I'm not going to keep y'all long because the Georgia game is on. If y'all don't know, I'm from Georgia and I want to go watch the game. All right. So we're just gonna talk about TradingView tonight. And if y'all got like any questions as we are live streaming along the way about TradingView or tools that I'm using, make sure you guys ask the questions and I can answer them. So make sure y'all come in, okay? Now, when I first got started with TradingView, I first got started with TradingView about 4.5 years ago. I think I was either living in Germany or just coming from Germany, and I started using TradingView. And I have to be honest, back then TradingView was like a dinosaur. Like all the tools and indicators and the way like this stuff is set up, it was not as robust back then as it is now. So I am really grateful with how far TradingView has come along. I mean, it's an amazing platform. Even having now the ability to trade live through TradingView. I've seen how they upgraded their bar replay. If you back test without the candlesticks as I do, I think is a really cool feature. But we're not as good, as the next tool or the next trade, as they say. And so you need your TradingView tools in order to be really efficient and quick in the market. And having the right tools, especially when you're learning like a new platform, is really important. So you're not like scurrying through trying to figure out like what's the best tool to use and what tool should you do here and how should you use it. I struggled with TradingView like my first few months when I used it, and I said, "No, dog, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it easy." So I'm going to show you guys what I use, what my tools are, and then I'm also going to show y'all like some of my templates that I have to make just this easy platform to use because it is a learning curve. Now, if any of y'all know, I am not a fan of MetaTrader. The reason why I'm not a fan of MetaTrader is because I think TradingView is very customer friendly, and I like their favorites bar. Like if MetaTrader could come along, if you're using it on like your computer or your laptop or whatever, I think if they were more trader friendly, I would probably use the platform to trade through. But TradingView got everything we need, so that's why I like looking at this and then inputting my trades in my MT 4 or 5, which whatever broker platform I'm using. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, what I want you guys to focus on is this favorites bar right here. That's what they call this, or it's a shortcuts bar. And these are like all the tools that I use. I don't use a lot of tools. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to analyze my charts so quickly, because there's a purpose for everyone. And these help keep my chart clean. So, one of the first tools that I want to talk about, and I feel like this is my secret sauce, I feel like I use this the most when I'm trading, and this is what really helps keep my chart clean, is the price note tool. So if you don't know how to get to this tool, this is how you get to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the fifth icon down. It's going to be under the T for text. And if you scroll down, I know I'm in the way, but if you scroll down, you should see price note. And I have a star by it, right? Now, I do categorize my TradingView shortcuts tool by how often I use the tool. Cool thing about the price note tools that I love is that you can write on them. Like as y'all see, I have like lower high, right? But if I really wanted to write on it, I could come here, click on text, and write anything I want, and it's going to show on the tool. This way, I don't have to use the T text feature. I just feel like it just makes using the or I wouldn't say using, I would say keeping the chart very clean, clutter free. I'm all about having a clutter free chart. Another reason why I like this tool as well is because I like the way I can style it to make my chart more simple. Like every time frame has a different color when I'm using this price note tool. And I have different templates for it, as you guys can see. Like I have my daily higher highs, higher lows, lower low, lower highs. I have a price note tool for my monthly time frame and my weekly 12-hour, 15 5-minute if I'm scalping. And so the way I have this set up is I'll put a price note tag on here. I'll customize it. That way, every time I put a price note tag on there, I don't have to customize it individually. I get to come on here, um, and click on my template, and it goes right to that time frame, and it specifies the color that I already have on there. So that's why I like using a price note tool. It's just a really good feature, and it's showing me my exchange rates, so I don't always have to look to the left or to the right to see what the price is. Boom, it's right there in front of me. And that's why I prefer to use this over horizontal lines. So that's the price note feature. Now, the next tool that I like to use is the rectangle tool. I think the majority of traders daily is red. As you guys can see, I clicked on daily and it turns red, and it only shows on the daily time frame and below. And then I have my weekly zone, which it just turned blue, so it only shows on the weekly, daily, and then time frames below. And then I have my monthly zone, which is purple, and it shows on monthly, weekly, daily, and below. Any time frame that I specify, it does not go up in time frames. The zone goes down in time frames, and it's actually for all of my templates. And I'll even give you guys a secret. If your charts are cluttered, if your tools are following you up time frames and it's cluttering your higher time frames, you can change the visibility. And the best way to do it is to double click on the tool, go to visibility, and specify what time frames you want your tool to show on, and then save it as a template. Click on template, save as, type up what you want. TradingView has even changed it to where you can change what you already have and replace it, and it's so easy. And then you click save, and then okay, and then it saves for you. So this is how I get my estimation zones. Okay. The next tool that I use, and I don't use this tool a lot, is the diagonal rectangle or the rotated rectangle. I like to use this to find what the market condition is or define what the market condition is. Now, I'm going to say this: a lot of traders don't talk about market conditions. Okay. I like to talk about market conditions as trend, high volatility, low volatility. So instead of using a trend line or two trend lines, I like to actually use this tool to highlight what the volatility is whenever price is trending up, when it's trending down. I don't use it horizontally because I'm not a support and resistance trader, nor am I a consolidation trader. And so I try to be careful with that. I'm only trying to capture how price is moving. I don't care if it fits on the wicks. That's not what it's there for. Is literally just to show me the volatility of price as it's trending up and as it's trending down. So that's what I use this tool for. And it's not specified by time frames. It's literally as price is moving. But like I said, I don't use that tool often. I honestly like to use that when I'm teaching classes because it makes highlighting an area easier than using trend lines or boxing things off. So that's what I like to use that for. And then we have the T for text, which is very explanatory. You're using this to type out a message that you want or to journal. I like to use this tool, but I don't use it often. I just don't like to use that one as often. One of the reasons I don't like to use it often is because my tools, I can write on my tools. I can write on my price note tool. I can also write on the rectangle, which if I click on the rectangle and click text, I can write on it, right? Some tools, like I said, it can be overkill. But if I need to write a message on the sides, I'll actually write a message on the sides, and then I can take a picture and screenshot it and put it in a journal somewhere or print it off somewhere. So that's why I use for my T for text. Now I also use my trend lines. So I like to use a trend line if the bottom or the top of my candlesticks do not have wicks. All right. There can be a candlestick and you'll see it. Like if y'all look here, this candlestick right here does not have a wick at the bottom. Instead of me using a rectangle tool, I'll just come up here if I need to, only if I need to, and I'll put like a trend line under it or something if it's a really important candlestick and I really need to highlight it, and that's when I'll use my trend line. But other than that, I don't really use my trend line that often, but it is there if I can't place a zone on one of my candlesticks. So I will use the trend line. It's not specified to any time frame. It's literally as I go because I'm not using that as often. The next tool is very important. I just started using this more often, actually, the last 2 to 3 weeks, because I really find that this is helpful, and it is the horizontal ray. I've been using this horizontal ray to spot out my break even point. So if price moves a certain distance, which is probably halfway percent of to my take profit, then what I'll do is I'll put this line in the middle of my take profit, like in the green here, and it'll represent a halfway mark that reminds me, Shaquan, move your trade to break even. Price has passed this price, so you need to move it. As you guys can see here, if y'all look at my tool, I'm going to click on it again. It's showing me the price that I need to pay attention to. So it's showing me a price label, and I like having my price label on certain only on certain tools that I personally use, because I just find that it's just easier to see the price that's highlighted as well too. And so let's just say that I wanted to get into this trade here. I'm going to find my 50% mark, which I'll show you guys what I use as well. And then once I find that, I'll come here, I'll click on my horizontal tool, I'll move it there, and I have a template saved as well. Break even, my entry, my stop loss, my take profit 1, my take profit 2. And I'll just click on whatever is specified there. Like, this is my break even point. And then that's what I use my horizontal rays for. And they are not um they're not time frame sensitive, because it literally just depends on what happens as I go with this specific tool. So that's what I use this for. All right. So that's the horizontal ray. Then I have the arrow. I normally use this if I'm teaching. Like, some of these tools are for teaching purposes when I'm coaching clients and my students. Some of these are for trading purposes. So this is more for a teaching purpose because I teach a lot. I teach a lot. Okay. And so if I need to pay attention to a certain area, I actually like to use my arrow, and I'm going to keep that simple. Even if you don't teach and you just trade for yourself, having an arrow, especially when you're journaling your chart, can be a really, really good tool to have. Like, if you need to point at something, I like using this tool. And then here comes my lover, my Fibonacci. I love this Fibonacci tool. Oh my God. I've been using it since maybe the year and a half mark of my trading. I've been using Fibonacci, and it's such a beautiful tool, but I don't use it like everybody. Okay. Let me explain Fibonacci for a quick second. If y'all don't know what a Fibonacci tool is, it measures retracements. That's all. It's a tool that measures how far price will pull back. But the thing is, no one can tell you how far price will pull back. You have to let price identify that for you. I don't believe in golden ratios, and I don't even use the levels in the middle. Let me show y'all what my tool looks like. It is so bare minimum. This is all I have on my price tool, on my Fibonacci, y'all. That's it. I have my 100, which represents my high or my low. I have my 0, the higher, the low, and the negative 27, which is my take profit. That's it. One of the reasons why my tool is bare is because after years of using the levels, I realized something. It's my estimation zone that puts me into the trade, but it's where price stops that measures how far price pulls back. I don't need to know how far price pulls back because I already have my levels. And so I like to take extra steps out of my trading. So instead of me focusing on the level, I just like to focus on the take profit. That's really it. Because I'm already using my zone to enter, I don't need the extra step of worrying about a level in the middle of my Fibonacci. So that's why I don't use price levels in the middle. You can use your Fibonacci however you want. If measuring the pullback is important to you, I say go for it. For me, nah, dog. I'm not gonna do that no more. That's just an extra step I just don't need for myself. Okay. But yeah, so this is my Fibonacci. It's not time frame sensitive either. It's just as I go. But as I've said, I just use this for the negative 27. Now, the reason why the negative 27 is important for me is because it shows my extended targets. Sometimes when I trade my original take profit back down to the low or the high, I may not have a one-to-one risk to reward, and the negative 27 can give me more than a one-to-one, and it means that price could potentially push past a new and make a new high or a new low. And so that's why I like to use my Fibonacci retracement. Now, if you have original Fibonacci retracement, you will notice that your negative 27 is not on there. But what you can do is add it. And the way you add it is you double click on the tool, and you can click on whatever numbers you have on here and just change it to like negative 0.27. Click OK, and then it will be added for you. Now, some of you guys may also use the Fibonacci expansion tool or the Fibonacci extension tool. If I'm being honest, the negative 27 on the extension tool is the same as if you placed it on the Fibonacci retracement tools. Once again, take out the extra step in trading. You don't need two tools that can literally do the same thing. And that's why I like to use just the Fibonacci retracement and add the negative 27. Then I'm done. Okay. So that's what I like to use here. Now, the next tools that I like to use, I'm going to talk about them at the same time, is the short position tool and the long position tool. And my God, obviously we use this to measure our risk to reward. It's an amazing tool. So if y'all don't know how to read this tool, let me show y'all the easiest way to read a short position and a long position tool. It's so easy. Focus on three numbers. The first number you want to focus on is the number after the parentheses. As y'all can see, it says 60. Now, if you move this up and if you move this down, obviously your numbers will change. All right. So that's the number you have to focus on. In the short position tool, which is in the red, okay, this is the stop loss in pips. And, it's going to measure how many pips you're risking. If you come down in the green, that's for your take profit in pips. The same number after the parentheses, these are your pips right here. And obviously, if you move it up or if you move it down, the number is going to change. Okay. And so this just measures how many pips that you can gain. The other number, the third number you want to pay attention to is going to be your risk to reward. And so what this is doing is saying, hey, I'm going to divide your stop loss by your take profit in pips, and this is how you get your risk to reward. So if you divided 60 into 215, you get 3.58. Remember how we learned that in school? Division problem, that's how you get your risk to reward, and that is how you use this tool. Okay. I know there are a lot of numbers here, and if you did not want to see all of these numbers, here's a trick you can use. You can come here, you can click on compact stats mode, and then voila, it literally decreases the numbers that you see. So if you see here, this is your numbers in pips again. It is 60, and then this is 215. Okay. So, or actually, this is 6 cents, and this is $2.15 because I'm on an indice. But it also reads the same way when you look at your foreign currencies. Okay. So that is the short position tool and a long position tool. And obviously, it's just opposite, you guys, when you're using your long position tool, but it still reads the same. And here's a secret sauce to this too that I really love about these tools. Let's just talk about this tool right here in this tool. I want y'all to look at my price scale. Y'all see the red and the green? Actually, let me just move one of these so y'all can see it. You see the red, right? Besides the price note, if you wanted to know where your stop loss was, y'all can come over here to your price scale, and it literally tells you where your stop loss is. So you don't have to, use your crosshair to figure that out. If you keep your price labels up on your tools, they'll show you. And even the take profit right here, if you come over here to this green, it's 102.84. So this tool will literally show you what prices or exchange rates you need to look at. So you don't have to go fiddling around for them. But once again, that's also why I use my price note tools. So I don't have to keep looking to the left. I'm sorry, I keep saying to the left, to the right at my price scale. And it's the same, like I said, if you're using the long position. So your take profit in pips are after the parentheses up here. Your stop loss and pips is after the parentheses, and then your risk to reward. But like I said, obviously these numbers will change. Okay. So that's the price note, the short position tool, and the long position tool. One of the last tools I like to use if I wanted to measure pips on my price chart, because with MC4, I think it's a little bit easier because you can click and drag and it'll show you your pips. I use the price range tool. And this is another way in which I know my halfway point when I want to enter a trade, right? So let's just say that I had a trade on from here and I wanted to know what my halfway mark would be in pips um for my trade, right? So this is $2.13. So obviously going to be around $1.06, right? So what I'll do is I come here, I'll measure out around what 106 pips will be or whatever, or $1.06 will be. And I say that it is my halfway mark, and then I'll take my horizontal ray and I'll move that tool to the halfway mark because it's already measured out for me, and then voila, I'm done. So it measured how many pips, or in this case, price points or ticks that I wanted to move my horizontal ray down. And this is an easy way. If you just need to count your pips in general, you can use this price range tool. Now, in order to get there, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the seventh icon under the long position tool, and you can just put a star by that, and then boom, that's the favorites tool there. So these are some of the tools that I use. Now, another tool that I also like to use, I don't know if you would call this a tool, maybe. I don't know. But it's my alerts. I like setting alerts, especially in the morning when I scalp. I don't like to look at the price chart when I scalp. So I'll set an alert to my break even point, and I'll set an alert to my stop loss point. I don't set an alert to my take profit point. But I like to set alerts. And one of the best ways to set alerts, if you guys see here, like you could come over here and set the alert here, but I also like to do it on my actual price chart because I think that it is easier. So let's just say that I wanted price to alert me when I get triggered into my trade, like if I'm setting a pending order. So I'll come up here and I'll hover over my estimation zone where I wanted to enter the trade. Hey Fred, how you doing? Hey Veronica, how you doing, sweetheart? What I'll do is I'll come here and I'll click on the plus sign, and then I'll click on add alert. So as you guys can see, it has like this orange arrow or this orange triangle, right? So if I wanted to edit it, all I have to do is double click on it, and then the settings will come up. And so you guys can see it says for USDX, I want to be alerted when it's crossing 104.98. I only want to be alerted one time. I don't need it to keep going off. This ain't no snooze button. Okay. I don't normally mess with the expiration date. I don't really care for the expiration date because it's only going to trigger once. And I'll come over here and I'll say what the name is. So for this one, I want to know when I'm triggered. So I'll say triggered into trade. And when it's triggered into trade, I want to know what the message is on this specific alert. And so I'll probably say USDX triggered for sale down to whatever price I put my take profit, and then I click on save, and then I'm done, right? And that's how I like to set it. Now, one thing I like about the alert system here is that I can be dinged on my computer. I also have this to alert me on my iPad and my phone, so it comes through as a message on my phone. And so I'll get the message, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, I got a message in all three places. Because there are times when I'm not home and price triggers me into a trade because I'm setting my pending orders, or there are times when I'm here at my chart with my students, and then we're scalping the market in the mornings, and I'm like, oh hey, I just got triggered into a trade, or my stop loss just got triggered, or my break even point just got triggered. If I'm really watching it, then I probably won't need the alert, but I like the alert system on here. Other than that, I set my pending orders and I go. And honestly, these tools, like I said, it helps me keep a cluttered free chart. Just like this one. Like I don't have a lot of things on my charts, right? Like y'all see a zone from way back, you see price note tools, and that's honestly about it. because I just don't care for everything else, like levels and all things like that. Even here, if I go to another currency pair, right, you can see where I put all those things together. I am going to erase the rectangle tool because I don't rotate the rectangle tool because I don't need that. But you guys can see, like, from a previous trade that I had set, I actually didn't get into this one, but this is how the trade would have looked. And if you were here when I did the 2023 watch list party, you would have seen it. I talked about this buy on Euro USD, but I had the estimation zone set. The trade would have looked like this. Okay, for a 1.79 risk to reward, the take profit. This was the halfway point to the trade as well. And so the horizontal line would have been set. Didn't need a Fibonacci because the risk to reward was efficient enough. And the price note tools are here on the chart to display what the high and the low prices are, and then just going about it from there. Okay. No need for any text or anything because I can have my template show me all the text, and it's literally just putting the system together for me. I really do think like every tool that you use should be putting your system together for you. And it shouldn't hinder you. It shouldn't make you want to turn the opposite way or running hot because you have too much on your chart. I feel like if you have too much on your chart, you probably shouldn't be using something. And one thing that I learned about the tools that I use is that I want to be able to explain them. If I can't explain something on my chart, more than likely I should not be using whatever it is that's on my price chart. I'm just saying. When I have consultation calls with traders, I'm always interested in what they use on their charts, and I'll ask them to, describe what they use. And if there's an indicator on their chart that they're using, or if there is a tool on there that they're using and they don't understand how to use it, I have one or two options, or they have one or two options. Number one, you get rid of the tool until you get an understanding of what it is and how to use it. Or if it's something that I know how to use, obviously I'll teach it within my own parameters, right? But other than that, that's it. Yeah, friend, I'm on Tradingview while I'm live streaming this too as well. So yeah. So y'all, that's the tools that I like to use here on TradingView. It's a really easy setup. I don't use much whenever I am looking at the price charts, and this is pretty much about it. Anytime I'm setting up my trades, besides the price note tool, I'm sorry, the position tools, I'm using like literally my rectangle and my price notes. That's literally it. One zone at a time. Like I can erase this one because we're done with it, and then I'll have my new setup, and then this is pretty much really about it on my charts. That's it. As simple as can be. Okay. So yeah. So we started this what 29 minutes ago. It's like 30 minutes into the game, y'all, because I really want to go watch this football game. So before we go, y'all, and I thank y'all for being on here with me. Do I have like any questions or anything regarding the tools and how I use them before I go? And I want to do a quick Q&A real quick too, because one of the questions that I get is always about my estimation zones. So y'all know that's what I call my rectangle tools, right? I'm estimating where price is going. So if you ever want to know why I call it that, that's what it is, because I'm estimating where price can pull back to. And then I'm often asked, how do I know where to place my zone? Now, I want to say this. I think anything that you personally place on your price chart is psychological, and it's a personal preference. The way I place my zones, and I say it the same way every time, is in an uptrend, I place my zone above my higher low, not my higher high. It's like kind of backwards to support and resistance traders. In a downtrend, I literally place my price note tool on my estimation zones below my lower high, and not a lower low, literally. And it's based on price action, just one, literally one price action candlestick that I personally choose. It's the same way for my students. Their zones could look different from mine, but it's still in the same general area. It is a personal preference based on price action and comfort and time frame. Okay, so that's it. I get asked to teach it, but I have to teach it in group meetings, or I teach it in my one-on-one sessions. And the biggest reason being is because market structure, which my estimation zone, is based on the individual. It's not based on me. It's not based on what I would do or what I would want to do. So when I'm placing my estimation zone, just understand it is personal. And if you wanted to learn how you can place them as well, this is when I say one-on-ones with me, or get into the membership, get into the community, and we chat and we speak and you learn how to build comfort around setting your own estimation zone, because that's how you would enter the trade. But I'll teach you how to find that for yourself. It's just not a one trick pony. And I think that's what people are looking for. The easiest way to do something without complete understanding. That is not how I teach. I want you to have complete understanding when you're setting your zones. Okay. Would this be on YouTube for replay? It is on YouTube for replay. Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am, Veronica. Okay. But y'all, I'm about to go and watch this football game. I am in prayers that Georgia wins. Y'all pray that Georgia wins. If you're against Georgia, I don't know what to tell you, but I just want them to win. Okay. I'll be back on here to live stream next week. And if y'all have like some topics that y'all would want me to go over, y'all make sure y'all put them in the chat, or you can email me if you have my email, which it should be somewhere here on YouTube. I don't know where they put it, or inbox me on Tradingview. Okay, but I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Happy trading. I will speak to y'all later. Good night, everybody.